Welcome back, everybody. Derrick Soo, your East Oakland advocate. Well, on November 5th, we're going to the polls and we are going to decide whether our current Oakland mayor, Sheng Thao, is going to keep her office or not. And I'm hoping that it is a not, and that Oakland residents, you boot her. And she has collected more signatures on the recall than first line voters in the election. So there are substantially more people that are upset with her, with how she's run Oakland for the last year and a half. And so November 5th will be the deciding day. And if she is recalled, Mayor Sheng Thao's political career is over. Period. It is over. Any politician that has been recalled has not been able to regain office or any kind of political significant recognition. So anyway, when we elect a new mayor, hopefully it's me, in the first 100 days, whoever you pick, Oakland, we don't know who all the candidates are yet, because that's going to be decided next week at the city council meeting and also public ethics commission. But it is more than likely to be on the November 5th ballot, and then there will be a special runoff in the event of the recall. So the recall portion vote in November will be two-part. Number one, a yes to recall, or no to let her stay. And the second part of that particular recall will be voting for her replacement. And my name will be on that replacement list. And so it's already been announced. It was announced officially. The information came out Tuesday. And so it's already Thursday. It's just hitting the news now. I've been talking about it since Tuesday night when it first came out. So in the first 100 days, with refreshed leadership, here's what I'm already planning on doing. I've got my list already set, and any candidate that is elected, you, Oakland, need to be very, very selective in this particular vote, because number one, your replacement candidate is starting from way behind, almost 2 years behind. And so they're going to have a plan of action, an immediate plan of action. Not, well, if I get elected, this is what. No, a plan of action right now in the event that they're elected. And so here are some of the things that I plan on doing in my first 100 days. Number one, removal of at least 3 administrators who have been behind a majority of all of this harm in Oakland. This person is also responsible for the debacle on the retail funding that was missed, the $15 million. I'm going to hold that person personally responsible. I know who it is, because that person terminated all of the grant writers that the city needed. And when I spoke to the last grant writer before she left Oakland, she told me who was behind that. And so that's who I'm holding personally responsible for that debacle, which Oakland and also Sheng Thao did not do. And so I will be doing that, and I will be enforcing that, because that person has only 2 choices: take retirement or be terminated in 30 days. That's the only options I'm offering. So next thing, and then there's two more people that are in that same particular situation, and they will be terminated in 30 days, or they'll be forced to go into retirement. If they don't qualify retirement, then I'll either terminate them or they can resign. It's probably better that they resign rather than me terminating them, because I'm not going to be leaving them any kind of recommendations for their next job. Uh, and then the next thing, I've been part of many advisories and committees that have been trying to work with the city of Oakland. We started trying to work with Libby Schaff. Libby Schaff started listening to us. Then she didn't listen to us. Then she just rebuffed us completely. And then Mayor Sheng Thao has refused to even acknowledge our existence, and working with the city of Oakland, trying to create a much better, fairer situation, and dealing with the many issues here in Oakland. And so I have my advisory group, which is made of already the citizens and businesses and politicians and legislatures of Alameda County and Oakland. So I have my advisors already, and they'll be relevant now rather than placed in the irrelevant box like in the past. Then I'm going to be meeting with the new city manager that Sheng Thao brought in. And then that's Justin Johnson. He started May 10th of 23. So I'm going to be doing strong mayor administration here. And that's going to be changing things. And the city manager either has to work alongside, hand in hand with me, or he will be terminated in 30 days also. And I already have replacements lined up in the event that does occur. So that's another person who may not be in the city of Oakland's employ after the turn of the year. Next on the list, appoint replacement administrators to these key positions. If these people have not been in their positions for a year or so, I'll meet with them. Otherwise, I have specific people lined up for these specific administration jobs. Number 5, hiring a director for my Oakland EIFDs, Enhanced Infrastructure Funding Districts. This is a very important person here who's key to the success of all of my projects here in Oakland. And I'm going to be contracting with the best, having Oakland have the best person for this position. And if he's listening right now, you probably know who you are, because we spoke a lot, and we do understand the need for EIFDs, and we know how Sheng Thao lied about her having an EIFD in place for the Oakland ballpark for John Fisher's group. And that didn't happen because she didn't have an EIFD. She did not put under contract this particular person to lead and direct all of the EIFD in Oakland, which I will be putting in place. Then we're going to invest with that EIFD monies. Not only is it going to work on key projects here in the city of Oakland, but it is also going to restore and replace all of the city streets. I have in that EIFD $35 billion allotted just for road replacement in the city of Oakland. That includes all of the roads in Oakland. That's $35 billion. This EIFD is a 50-year EIFD, and it will be paid back with the money and revenue taxes that are generated in these districts with the new enhanced infrastructures that are going to be in place. Number one, there's going to be a new entertainment district. That's part of the Oakland Middle Harbor project. Then there's the new transit station here in Oakland, which will be located in the former and around the Highway 980 corridor. We're going to be building over that. That's part of a project that Pete Buttigieg, United States Secretary of State, put on the table, $980 million to help with this project. But yet Sheng Thao nor the city council has moved on this. So that's something that we will be moving on. And also with those monies, not only are we able to develop the Oakland Middle Harbor district, replace the streets throughout Oakland, but also we're going to invest in our communities, especially the Oakland Chinatown, which has historically been neglected by every city council, and they need help. I know that because my family has a building down there which dates back to really far back, but we're not updating that building because that building is seismically safe. One of the few buildings, but yet there are a lot of buildings that need updating in the Oakland Chinatown. So that's one area that we're looking at investing large money. Also, the Black culture zone in East Oakland. We are going to invest big money into East Oakland, which has been a neglected area of Oakland for decades. And I know that because I've lived in District 6 and District 7 a majority of my life. And we've seen the neglect. And so we're going to invest into that neighborhood in East Oakland. Also, we're investing money into all the different zones. But here's the difference that a lot of you that may want to have an opportunity for that EIFD community money. I have an open door policy. I'll be the only mayor that has an open door policy. You don't need to have an appointment to come meet with me or talk with me. I will meet with any and all groups if the time allows. And there'll be specific hours that I'll be down at City Hall and available. And many of the other times I'll be out exploring Oakland and talking with you, the community, about what the needs are for your specific neighborhoods. But getting back to other things, also, I've been talking about the 20 acres that I've secured and I've been sitting on for the last 4 years. And it's a 20-acre property that's going to be developed as a homeowner or association home, or actually, it's not really home ownership, but it is a homeowner association. How it's governed and how it's operated. I can give you all the details on that, but it is a significant step forward and upwards. We will be taking and getting people off the streets, and homelessness will become a thing of the past or significantly reduced here in the city of Oakland because of the solutions that I bring along with that particular project. That particular project starts out at 240 homes, single family homes that are real homes. They're not this garbage that the city has been wasting money on, Alameda County has been wasting money on. These are real significant homes. The primary shell is made by a company called Arched Cabins. Arched Cabins, remember that name. They are all steel construction. They are highly fire resistant, and they're very cost effective. And these are real homes. They meet all the building codes. And the nice thing about this, we can create and construct one of these arch cabins in 3 to 7 days, rather than 45 days to 90 days to a year on a typical constructed home. So we're talking significant less cost in labor. Plus, we're going to be implementing a program that Alameda County stopped using back in the mid-70s called sweat equity down payment. Yes, sweat equity down payment. Look it up. Sweat equity down payment. It is still a thing that is used right now by humanity, Habitat for Humanity. It's also part of a Freddie Mac loan program. But I remember this program from 1972 here in Alameda County. It put down 20 homes along 73rd Avenue. And these folks were to invest a certain amount of hours into the construction of the home. And at the end of the construction, that was their down payment and allowed them to move in without having money out of pocket. So that's one of the other programs that I'm going to be reinvesting in and bringing back into Oakland, sweat equity down payments. And that will apply for the rental homes. And here's the exciting part. The programs that I'm bringing, we are looking at a guaranteed 26,000, 100% affordable homes here in Oakland. And you're saying, how is that possible? That's 22,000 of those new affordable homes are part of the floating community for Oakland Middle Harbor. We're talking about a starting price for your living space of size of a 2 bedrooms approximately. And these are the inboard cabins on these ships, starting at $65,000. And you own it. You have part ownership in that ship. The city doesn't own the ship. You own the ship, along with the other folks that buy into their and own their cabins. All the cabins are owner occupied. There are no rentals on these unless the Port of Oakland authorizes certain, because they're the authority that will be overseeing the ship project. This brings revenue in for the Port of Oakland for the berthing of these ships. And these ships provide much needed housing and emergency housing and business entertainment district, a whole new business entertainment district here in Oakland, which we anticipate over the 30 to 50 year course to bring in nearly $2 trillion, just this new district in Oakland that we're proposing, which is the floating community. Not only is it good for business, entertainment, it's new restaurants, and these businesses can lock in their overhead prices like old businesses used to do. That's how a lot of businesses from the long time ago were able to stay in business, because they were able to control their overhead, and especially their business location, their space. And if by owning it, you lock in the price, you don't have a landlord stealing your profits and causing you to raise prices. So ownership, literally owner of a ship. And so we'll have 6 ships, 22,000 affordable housing units, with the most expensive unit on board these ships at $300,000. And because these ships are going to have businesses, restaurants, shopping, and everything, you don't even have to cook if you don't want to. You can just go downstairs. You can sign up for one of the meal service programs that will be on board and available. So anyway, moving forward, we'll have 26,000 100% affordable housing units. Also, along with that, because of that EIFD, plus all of the construction and work that will be going on throughout all of these projects for the next 10 to 15 years. We're estimating, this is a low number now, 10,000 new living wage jobs here in the city of Oakland. So Oakland is going to be very desirable. We're going to have an economic boom. We're going to attract new interest in tourism. We're going to attract new businesses into Oakland. We're going to attract new residents into Oakland. And how we do that is by implementing these EIFDs. Then what we're going to be doing to cut the budgets, and we know that these third-party intervention agencies don't work, so we're going to be canceling them or letting their contracts run out if they're on a non-cancelable for that one. But we will be terminating all of those third-party agency. We are going to bring accountability and back into Oakland. We have the agencies already. Oakland has the Oakland Housing Authority. We also have a location, a floor for community housing. And so we have the resources, the places to go for housing for everybody. And so we're going to increase Section 8 housing by 3,000 units. 3,000 additional units. Currently, in the Oakland Housing Authority, there is only 1,606 units available for the Section 8. A past administrator, Jerry Brown, sold off half of Oakland's Section 8 housing stock to fund his pet projects, but at the expense of housing for Oakland. And so I will be restoring those numbers back. And we're looking at a very reasonable, because we know that there are people out there, especially the young folks coming out of foster care who have aged out. They need somewhere to go. They need a place. These are the options that are going to be available to them. We're talking about $35 a month for their rent and utilities complete. And then that helps them to stay stable, to not worry about becoming homeless or living on the streets or anything else. People coming out of incarceration, there's going to be places exactly for them if they have nowhere to go. A simple phone call, and a ride will come get them at wherever they are. And then they will work with that individual for housing, for job assistance, and for food, for mentoring. So these are systems and programs that are much needed by the city of Oakland. I worked on many of these programs with a lot of different agencies over the last decade. And so I'm very familiar with them and how they operate. I also worked, I volunteered and was a trustee for Alameda County or Alameda Health Systems. And what I did over there was advocate and lobby for the low income of Oakland. And what we now have in Highland is a very good service, increased dental services now. I also was able to put in place respite care, which didn't exist back in 2015, because when I had my cancer surgery, after 6 days in the hospital, I was let go out onto the Oakland streets with nothing, literally nothing. And there was no place for me to go. And so that's why I lobbied and advocated for respite care. There are at least 60 available beds at any given time, whether it be here in East Oakland at EOCP, East Oakland Community Project. It's the homeless shelter here in East Oakland, or at the Fairmont Hospital up in the San Leandro Hills. So those are two things that I helped put in place. Also, we're going to not be referring to the homeless and the homeless camps. These are going to be referred to as heritage and sanctuary uh, housing programs, and there's a lot to that. But anyway, we're getting a little bit behind here. Also, here in the city of Oakland, we're going to halt all sales of excess property, especially if they're homes or they are empty properties that were transferred to the city of Oakland, and that could be by liens, tax liens, non-payment of their taxes or bills, um, garbage even. Now, there's a lot of things that can cause a home to be come into the likings and the ownership of the city. But anyway, those will those sales would be automatically halted. All of those properties automatically transferred into the community land trust that will oversee properties for our community safety officers, housing. That's where our homes are going to come from, that allow us to have police officers and security officers live in the districts that they serve. And those homes will be without cost. That's part of the benefit of working as a safety officer. Your salary will be determined by another factor, but it will not be a factor for the city of Oakland at this time. So that's how we get a lot of the single family homes into the hands of real personnel that will keep the city of Oakland safe. And they are safeguarded because it's in the community land trust. So there's no sales or of excess properties or homes in the city of Oakland. And Oakland already has a first right of refusal. We put that in the city charter about 4 years ago. So then I spoke about my open door policy for my particular office, should I be elected the replacement mayor. Also, I will be putting in place the what I've been talking about, the new housing model here in Oakland, which will be part of the heritage and sanctuary housing. But the first right of occupancy will go to our homeless community. And that particular piece of property is out here in East Oakland, and it is covered under California Executive Order N, like Nancy, 23-20, signed by Governor Newsom back in May of 2020. I have possession of that particular property, and I will not relinquish that to anybody in the city of Oakland or the city council, because they've already screwed up 2 of my projects and really bastardized those projects, which had real good significant things in it. But then also what we have to do with that, we also have to reestablish a lot of relationships, because Oakland has a lot of broken relationships with key agencies and organizations that they need for these EIFDs. Number one, one of the biggest ones that we have to reestablish is a partnership and a relationship with Alameda County supervisors, because they are the taxing body, that they are the tax collecting body. They are also the ones that keep track of all the monies. So a really good working relationship has to be reestablished with the Alameda County supervisors. And so that's the top priority, and that's one of the things that my director for the EIFDs will be in charge of and handling. And we're just going to do everything that's needed. Along with that, we have to work with Caltrans on things, Army Corps of Engineers, Port of Oakland, BCDC, Bay Area Air Quality Management District, the EPA, and that's just for a few of the agencies that are going to be involved that we have to create relationships. And this is for the Oakland Middle Harbor project. And then we have to establish working relationships with the federal government, and specifically Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg, because back in 2022, in October, when he was here touring Oakland and listening to some of the issues, Pete Buttigieg put $980 million on the table to deal with the Highway 980 corridor, the 2 mile stretch through the downtown Oakland, which has been a real community issue for decades. So we will be working on that and working on that project. So I have 2 years essentially to turn Oakland around, because in that time, if I don't perform for you, at the end of the 2 years, you have that option to vote somebody else in and change Oakland again. So if you didn't like what was happening in the 2 years that you had me getting things turned around, you have that option to remove it and change it again. But again, anybody that comes in needs to have a plan of action for the first 100 days. And there better not be any vacations in there. There better not be any travel in there, because you are hired to deal with the specific issues here in Oakland. Also, my cabinet, like I said early on, they will be already formed, and within 20 days of swearing in, my staff will be all hired and in place. Then putting together community safety officer program. That's Oakland is so understaffed. 719 officers is what the city charter currently allows for police officers, and that's a significantly lower number than pre-COVID. Pre-COVID, we were at 850 officers, and we were struggling to stay there. And that's when crime was already starting to go crazy at that time. So the Community Safety Officer Program, that is a program that is funded by outside. It's not taxpayer funded. This is kind of like downtown Oakland. You've heard in the downtown corridor, the big four businesses down there put in a pool of $10 million to hire community safety officers for a specific corridor. That's what this project is. But we're expanding that to not only all the businesses, but we also make it affordable for the residents, so that you can be included on the if you have an event, you call 911. They can see that you're on the community safety officer program. Immediate call goes to that community safety officer who is in your district, and they will answer and show up before an Oakland police officer in most cases. And these officers are armed. They have this is one of the things. We are going to be issuing concealed carry weapons permits. I will be ordering our police chief to put together a department so that we can have an effective program for concealed carry weapons permits to be issued here in the city of Oakland. And this is not about gun proliferation. These are specific. There are specific rules for this, and they'll be outlined as we get closer. We're also going to be dealing with this long-time problem of the federal oversight person, namely Mr. Warshaw. And so I have a plan on getting rid of him and getting real value for the $1.2 million that we spend on this character every year and get nothing for it. And all he does is just reinforces his retirement position because he only shows up here a couple times a year and collects $1.2 million for his no work. So what we're anticipating. We are going to break down the EIFDs into different parts, but overall, we will be launching EIFD projects, 50-year EIFDs, and it is estimated at $358 billion is what we're putting together in this EIFD. And how it's paid back is through the increased taxes through these districts, because the sales and the interest of what's going to happen in these districts is going to increase all the revenues in these strong areas. And if we also add in a major league soccer stadium in the uptown area of Oakland, which is what I'm proposing, as also one of the EIFDs. And that brings a tremendous amount of interest into uptown Oakland, revitalizing an area that desperately needs the business. So I've worked with many agencies, many community groups in order to arrive at a lot of these solutions. And so anyway, thanks for joining me today. These are my top 100 day things if you put me in the mayor's office to replace the incompetent Mayor Sheng Thao. Thanks for joining me today. We'll be right back.